Hello, everybody, and welcome to Comics News Today for the 20th of January as time flies by. We're really happy to have you guys in here with us today. For me, it's a beautiful sunny day. I got a nice cup of mild coffee, which I don't know how I feel about that. But I'm with a very good friend of ours and mine as well, a person who I love because when you try to hug him, he's just so slippery and oily. It's kind of nice. How you doing, Booster?
Yeah, I don't like being touched. That's why I get all the oil. It
That's
helps
true.
people slip right off me, so I can't be touched for very long. It reminds me of my uncle.
Yeah. Well, it almost turns into a game, to be honest with you. But
Hmm.
nevertheless, guys,
Catch the booster.
yeah, actually, no, this would be funny, but when I was a kid, my dad, of course, is a military dude, and we moved around quite a bit. And I was down in the South for a good 3 years, I think. And because it was actually in his hometown, oddly enough. But of course, we went to the church. My family's religious, so until I was like 16 or something, I went to church what 3 days a week, I'd say. But we had like this Sunday afternoon church event thingy, barbecue thingy, right?
Hmm.
And they did it like every year. I forget what the event was for, but nevertheless, they had like this white fence penned in area, and they take all the kids and they would literally let loose a greased pig, and if you could catch it, you could keep it, and of course, which means you could eat it. So I've actually chased and caught a pig on two separate occasions.
Oh, that's nice. You are the pig catcher.
I am skilled at catching greased pigs. I am. I
Hmm.
am.
Hmm.
I was very good at it.
Did you kill it yourself? Like, or
Of course, I had to help, of course, yeah. But I grew up with a
oh
Creole
man,
family, so I've
did
killed
you have
and
to
cleaned a
look
lot
it?
of animals, dude.
You had to look it in the eyes and watch them fade.
Oh no, no, I never cared much. That never worried me or bothered me. But yeah, because with
Okay,
my
I'm glad
family.
to know you're a sociopath.
Oh, I definitely have some of those qualities. Absolutely, yeah. But
That is not something to admit on stream.
but no, no, no. Because you weren't allowed to carry a gun, and of course we practiced, but I wasn't allowed to carry a gun and go hunting until I was about 12, I'd say. But before that. You had to go on the hunts. You had to learn how to be quiet. You had to clean the animals and do what you know. You had to do all this stuff, to learn the responsibility and all those kind of things. And then, of course, when I was 12, I was able to actually carry a gun on the hunt. I've hunted deer, bear, geese,
Bear.
ducks, pheasants,
Killed bears?
boar. Oh yeah, yeah. They
Those are
don't taste very
powerful
good though.
animals.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
taste good
You've
though.
eaten bear. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
That.
Well, you eat what you kill, dude. I mean, come on.
Mhm. I'd be more impressed if you
Elk.
managed to take one with your bare hands.
No, God, no. That would be stupid. Even a little one.
Wrestle
Even
a
a little
bear.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
They're pretty powerful.
Yeah,
Although
strong animals.
I do have a it's not a family member, but he's kind of like one of those uncles that's not your uncle. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah. And he actually killed the deer by hand once on accident. It was a
Hmm.
funny thing, dude. It was early morning. You try to get up early when you go on the deer because they're still kind of sleeping and they're kind of lethargic to coming out of
So,
their grass beds. And
how do you accidentally kill a deer
well,
with
I'm
your
going to
hands?
explain it. It's pretty cool, dude. So we went and he took a shot on a deer. He hit it pretty solid, but even if you hit a deer solid, it's going to run off, and you got to go track it. Unless you hit it perfect, it's going to run off. So of course he's out tracking it, and I wasn't old enough to shoot, so I was sent to attach with him and assist him. So I was following him, and and I had one of my other cousins with us too. But anyway, the three of us were moving along, trying to be quiet, and where he's tracking it, and he saw a blood trail going into a bush. I mean, literally a stand of grass is what it was. And he just kind of crept on up on it. He pulled out his knife because if it's still alive, he wants to dispatch it. You don't want it to suffer, right? So
Mhm.
he gets in, he kind of peers on it, he jumps in, and to dispatch it, and he comes out, but he finds out that that was just a sleeping deer. The one he had shot was like over laying up against a tree, like
Oh no,
10, 15 meters away. Yeah, so I mean, he literally killed a deer by hand on accident.
by accident.
Yeah, because it wasn't the one he was after. Yeah, but I mean,
Hmm.
that happened
That
oddly. But nevertheless, please check out those links down below, guys. Really appreciate you being part of all the things we're doing. Particularly, hit me or Booster up on our tags. My Twitter's down below. If you want to be on the show, you want to talk about one of your products, we'd love to have you. You want to be
Mhm.
on the Drone Quartered, just let us know, and we'll get you through that process. But we got some interesting news today. Do keep in mind this is our first week with the new format, so we had a great Bigfoot TFT yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Um, we have our
Ooh,
comics news today,
I
right?
had a few ideas for TFT.
Oh,
What about
sweet.
what about the Bermuda Triangle? What do you think of that?
Oh, dude, that's a good idea. We haven't talked about that at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. Booster, see, he's useful sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering how many of the claims about it have been refuted, but I'm interested to go into that because I have no idea what
No,
the hell's going on over there.
we should, and we haven't even picked this
Yeah,
week's TFT, so we could do the Bermuda Triangle. That's a oldie, but a goodie.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
done.
there you go.
Sorted.
Bermuda Triangle this Sunday. That's going to be fun. Uh,
TFT, baby.
I say it's an oldie but a goodie, but that one is kind of an old-fashioned one, oddly enough. There's so many that have kind of taken over from when I was a kid. That was a big one, though, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good on you there. Bermuda Triangle this Sunday. That sounds perfect.
Yeah,
But
well, I'm in a third world country, so we only just got the news about it.
true, true, true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Well, there is one of those things in the Pacific as well, actually, something similar. Maybe I'll
Ooh.
mention it on the show. But nevertheless, of course, tomorrow we have our Bugbear's Basement, which we're currently running the Moonshay Isles campaign, episode 18, I do believe, tomorrow. And we got some cool things. I know exactly where we're going with it, and it's going to become more and more epic, and it's going to end beautifully. I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, on Wednesday, we will be doing our fan speak, which we've moved fan speak to from Saturday to Wednesday, and we have a guest. We have John Della Rose coming on the show on Wednesday, so that's gonna be fun. Uh, Talk to
It's
him
gonna
about
be
his new products. Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, see, we got. Well, I like John. I mean, he's very prolific. He writes
Yeah,
so much, and not just comics and books too. So
yeah.
I think he's mainly a writer, actually.
Apparently,
Book
there's
writer.
some good money in the writing, in the just shooting out novels
Yeah,
and putting
well,
them on Amazon. Yeah,
and he does, and he's
yeah,
successful at it. So it'll be really
yeah.
nice to talk to John and see what he's up to. Haven't talked to him in a while. Then, of course, on the Thursday show, we will doing the Drone Accord Ultimate Edition. What are we doing this week?
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Oh my God,
Yeah,
it's gonna be all ugly and stuff.
your
All
boy
right.
Booster. Your boy Booster pushed that one to Pixel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I think it's a good
we already have
idea.
a lot of artists very interested in it, so that's really cool.
Awesome. Well, I want a
I
chocobo.
Well, I want a chocobo as well. I want a kiwi chocobo, a booster chocobo. That is perfect. Someone do
Oh,
that.
yeah, no, we gotta make that
I'm
happen. Someone
I'm
be
banning
riding
Final
up on the
Fantasy
booster,
shipping.
riding the booster, riding.
Mm,
Mm,
ride the booster.
sounds good.
No fat chicks.
Yeah, no, no. Oh, hey, now, fat chicks ride for free, baby. You got to remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You know that to pay extra because they the chocobo can only lift so much, Chester.
I guess that's true. But yeah, we don't pick on the fat girls here. We love fat girls. Now, I personally didn't marry a fat girl, but I have no hate for the fat girls. I've actually never dated a fat girl. Maybe I do hate. I hate fat girls. Oh my God, I didn't
I'd
realize that.
I'd check a fat girl.
Oh
Yeah,
no, no, no,
I
I
like
guess I
it.
didn't. No, I don't hate. We're joking, of course. But all sizes and all peoples are welcome, without question, unless unless there is one group of people that's most certainly not welcome here whatsoever, and that's those filthy, stinking, horribly awful video gamers. Man, we don't want them. Got to keep them away.
I think they're okay. I think they're kind of cool. I don't know.
I know I am a video gamer. Kick myself out my own damn show. But hey, Thundero, the Lord of Thunder and Lightning, is here to
He
chastise
made
you
it.
and make your little bits all crispy. How you doing?
Mm,
I am
crispy.
I am well actually. I'm late because I was finishing the I never got around to it. I finally got around to finishing the rest of The Witcher. So that's what I was
Oh,
doing.
you mean the TV show or the video game?
Well, the show, but I've beaten all the games before. But the show, yeah.
I couldn't get
I
past
actually I
episode three,
actually
dude. I couldn't do it.
I would recommend you try because it gets really good.
God, it's so
Mm-hmm.
stupid. It's not even about Geralt, dude.
Well, but it's not. If like a lot of his story isn't even about him anyway. He's just kind of the thing that drives the narrative forward.
Sure,
this
Hmm.
but
world, but he's not like the main character through a lot of it.
yeah, but even with that, I can understand we're looking through his eyes, but the first 3 episodes, he's nowhere near any of the side stories that are going on. He's doing his own little odd thing on the side. It has
Well,
no
it,
connection whatsoever.
That's true. It takes a little while to pick up pace, but I thought it got really good past the second half of the season.
yes, it does. He's right. It gets a lot better because I actually agreed with you for the most part. It was very light on Geralt doing things that matter. He was
Hmm.
kind of just doing his own thing, but
Yeah.
it all they had an overall narrative they were going for, and by the end they weave it together very well, very well.
It's wrapped together quite well. Yeah.
All right, fine. Twist my arm, won't you? But no, the
He's
thing
gonna come back and be like, "Fedora, you son of a bitch! It
I
don't get
know, I swear to God. But here's the thing. For me, it should be called this. It should be called Witcher: The Saga of Yennefer, the Tale of Yennefer. From what I've seen.
See
Now, the
that
thing
girl?
is, I
Love
don't
her,
mind that though. I kind
especially
of
the
like the
movies.
story of Yennefer. I thought it was pretty cool.
Hmm.
It gets a lot better, actually. Seriously, the his story gets a lot better. You don't get too deep into his, but they set up where in the next season that they're going to do at least one more. I would assume even more than that. You're going to start to see more and more of Geralt's backstory. I think it's because there's a few different reasons they did that. One, they really wanted to establish Yen as important, and she's a really powerful character in her own right because Geralt's the sell. I mean, that's why everybody's there, right? We're all there to see Henry Cavill and Geralt as the Witcher.
Absolutely
So they
killing that
needed to
switch.
build up everybody else around him and get them, interesting, basically. And they did a good job of that, actually, especially at the end. The last episode is very good. I think you really like it.
They were preaching to me about refugees with the elves, dude.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the books. That's a big
No,
part of the
they
books.
yes,
The
but the
oppression of the non-humans.
well, that's an effect of war, sure. But they were
Yes.
preaching to me in a modern way, not in the books way.
What you
Okay, in fantasy though, in Tolkien ripoffs of fantasy, it's very common for humans to be dicks to all other races. That is a very common trope.
That's true. That is true. I don't know. I guess I'll have to check it
He's
out.
going, "Ooh, ooh,
Especially
but
the
the
last
blacks are in
episode.
it. Ooh."
While it's light on Geralt as far as like action goes, even though there's a pretty good action scene with him, but it,
Mm.
it, it starts to really delve into his psyche, and it sets up for, like I said, the future of meeting very important characters and getting to know more about him that you don't really get too much in the first season. I mean, you get to know his character, like he's funny, he's sarcastic, he's kind of a dick, but he has a good heart and he wants to help people,
Mhm.
even if he's a mercenary at the end of the day and wants to make money too. But you're going to get to see more of that. What you're talking about, you want to know more about Geralt. You want to see more Geralt action. I think the second season is going to be big on that. I really do because I think they pretty much nailed Yen. Like, okay, we get it. This is her. Now what? And and Siri is in it too. Obviously, she's a very big important part too.
Well, she's a
They do
child
pretty
in it.
much
Yeah.
right. They do pretty much nail her story up into the end. So I really think the second season is where they're going to really. I think a lot of it was because this first season they couldn't afford to have Henry Cavill on the screen all the time, so they had to go around that and try, and at the same time build up all the other characters so they can really
Let's do
hopefully.
Hmm.
Superman and not have Superman on the screen. Sounds like a
Yes.
plan. But you know, the thing I thought when I was watching it was what we were seeing of Geralt was a very young Geralt. It's not the 80-some year old dude that we're used to seeing in the video game. And
Mhm.
I had a feeling what was going on with Yennefer was in the Cersei was in the present. So I felt that we were seeing Geralt in his past, and we were going to they were eventually time would become one because obviously they were jumping around in time quite a bit.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's what happens pretty much. They finally all you know get in the same timeline at least. You know what I mean? Like it's all together now, and all the stories being told
mhm.
together, and they do that very well. That's what I'm saying is they tie it all together very well. Like you probably aren't expecting it until it happens when they tie it together.
Okay, the only really important question is, do Geralt and Yennefer shag? That's
Oh
all
yeah,
that matters. Oh, sweet. All
Oh
right.
oh
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, it's solved. Solved. All right.
and there's
Good.
boobies just, and she actually has really nice boobs. So
She
They're
has
little,
great
but they're
tits.
nice. They're very well shaped.
One thing I think that actors did really well, because like I said, I didn't mind this story of Yennefer. I thought it was pretty cool. Just name it properly is what I would say. But anyway, one thing that was really interesting, they found an actress who can act, and she's got a bit of a wonky jaw on her
Hmm.
naturally, and then she held it, to the side. And really had a strong effect as the misshapen hunchback from the of Yennefer. And it's really interesting how they made that choice because that's a very practical effect. Now that she's in the form we know her by, the wonky jaw is still there, but she had pulled it over to such a strong effect that it doesn't bother you.
Right.
You know what I
The
mean?
only thing that bothers me about her is her nose, but that's just my own personal pet peeve. I don't
Oh,
like large noses on women.
just as long as we just don't discuss what they did to Triss. Ugh.
Yeah, Triss is a travesty, but she's a redhead, so she has to be black. I don't know. I don't know who decided this in Hollywood land,
Someone did.
but
Yeah.
somebody did because it's
But
all of them.
thankfully, she's barely in the show.
Yes,
Yeah. Well,
and
I
she's
mean,
actually pretty cool when she is in the show, even though she's the wrong ethnicity entirely,
yeah.
and race. The actress does a fine job with Triss. I mean, I believe her as Triss, even if she doesn't look anything like her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the
Mm.
whole thing with you got to have blacks in the medieval period is really dumb.
It is weird.
It's
It's
just
really out of
insulting.
place.
It's insulting to the culture of the people who wrote the story, and it's insulting to the blacks as well. But
Yes.
with that said, though, I saw the same damn trope, which is another thing that's been sent out across Hollywood. Can't have no more redheads, and you can't have a white person with a white person. And they had Yennefer up with
That's
a black
the
dude,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's the same nonsense we keep seeing over and over and over and over. And I really don't understand why it's so important to push this multiracial relationship stuff. I mean, do they literally want to end the white
Because
race? Is that
they're
their
weird,
purpose? But I
and
mean,
it
what's
makes
their
them
I
feel
intention
good.
though? Are they really want
I
to see the end of the white race? I mean, because I understand I'm an interracial dude myself. I married a
Mhm.
Japanese lady, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
so you're part of the white
It
genocide,
seems so,
Chester.
dude. I guess I am guilty.
I think part of it is there's an element that they want to do that. I think most of it's just virtue signaling.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
been
I
told that
don't
this is
think they intend to
virtuous.
destroy white people. I
Well,
don't
they
think it's that
won't,
far with them. I
of
just think
course.
they're idiots.
But I mean,
Now there are some
I'm
of them who
curious of their
definitely
intention.
want to destroy white people demographically that way. They brag about it all the time on like Twitter
Yeah.
and stuff. They think
Yeah,
it's hilarious that that's happening.
yeah.
So I think that's absolutely
Always
part of
white
it,
people.
but I don't think it's the main
So
thrust of it. I
weird.
think it's just
It
virtue
is
signaling.
weird, dude. It is very weird because I mean, let's be very clearly honest. White people saved the world on many
Yes.
occasions. So
You're
I,
welcome.
you are welcome. Yeah,
God.
Well, the weird part about that is historically it could have easily been the Chinese that did it, and
could have been anybody.
they
Yeah.
just did it. They just said,
Yeah.
"Nah, we're good. We're good here.
No,
We're good here."
No,
it
me not speak English. Me no help.
no, well, dude, it could have gone many ways. You're right. It just
Yeah.
happened to be that. Now, I would say it would have been less likely to have been the Asians, Chinese in particular, because they don't like anybody. So it's
Yes.
more than likely it would never have been the Chinese, but it could have been the Indians. It could, if they didn't have to deal with the Muslim invasions. It could have been the Arabs or the Persians
Yes.
easily,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The
But
Persians were
they
way
were
out in front.
well, sure,
Way out.
but they just came into a decline because they had been so powerful and became very decadent,
Yeah.
which is why they were conquered by Islam so easily.
Yes.
That's a very fair point, but nevertheless, it doesn't change the fact that that is where we stand, right? So I
Yes.
don't get it. Yeah, but anyway, that has nothing to do with comic books whatsoever. Although The Witcher kind of does, sort of, a little bit.
No, it's pretty good. I would give it, out of 10, I'd give it probably 7.5 and 8.
Wow,
Uh,
damn, dude, that's coming
his,
from
his
you. Damn,
Yeah,
Ooh, ooh.
Geralt himself, Cavill is amazing. He's perfect.
he
He
was cool.
absolutely clearly loves that character, and he does it unbelievable justice. And when it's time for him to turn up the acting, you can tell he's a A-list actor. Like he actually brings those chops,
Yeah,
and it's powerful when he does. Now, most of the time, Geralt is very like chill because that's part of his mutation. It calms his emotions, but occasionally he gets fired up, and when he does, it's great.
yeah,
It's like, oh, it does exactly what it's supposed to do.
yeah.
So I think you'll like it once you get past the where you're at. And yes, it is a very yen focused story. But I didn't mind that. I think she's a great character, and the actress does a great
It
job.
is a good character. That is true, and it's just to remind you now that when you look at Henry doing other stuff, you're like, yeah, yeah, this dude's an actual actor. It kind
Yeah.
of makes you sad how much he was wasted with Superman, right? How
Yes.
much more they could have done,
Yes.
and instead they focused on
Oh,
that stupid
yes.
Ben Affleck. When they announced him, a lot of us were like, "No, what the hell are you doing?" Everyone's like, "Well, he's got to prove you wrong." And then the first movie comes out, "See, he proved you wrong." No, yeah, no, he proved me right. That dude is a freaking plank, Ben
Yeah,
Affleck.
I still, there's still people who loved him as Batman, and I don't get
Oh
it.
God, he sucked balls, dude.
I don't get it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and
Especially,
honestly, just take the word of children, right? Because children are brutally honest. That's one of the only values they have. Otherwise, they're kind of useless, right?
Mhm.
But my kids grew up with comic books, right? And I'm a Superman guy, but they love Batman. That's their favorite character, right? Batman, Joker, stuff like that. And they watched the Superman Man of Steel, and they were like, "Eh." I actually liked it more than they did. I understand the complaints people have about it. I do, and I had a few complaints myself, but overall, I enjoyed it though. But that Batman versus Superman, my God, dude, how
That movie was a
bad a
travesty.
movie can you possibly make? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, my kids were totally nope, nope, done, right?
I really hated Batman vs Superman. It was
How
I was hyped
dare
for
you?
it
How did? Oh, Bob, you want to
too.
start a fight? You gonna
How
come in here
Oh,
and
you
start a
hate
fight
my
with
dare
me,
stream?
you?
you
Go the heck out of
bastard?
my stream! Get the heck out of my stream!
Hey, Bob, what's up, dude?
For shame. Besmirching the name of Ben Affleck.
Damn right. I'll do it tomorrow too if you'd like.
That man has all the range in the universe. He could play the shark in Jaws.
What a
I mean,
a fake
hey, it's
mechanical
pretty
being?
similar.
Yeah,
They
sure.
both can't keep their lip closed, so
But
Oh,
anyway,
Not
man.
even
he's
either.
certainly a hack. But nevertheless, we're 20 minutes in and we haven't even talked about any news today. So let's do that. The first thing I want to come
so,
over here and say
yeah.
hello to the chat, though. However, we got a bunch of people in here. We got Roger as well. Hey, always nice to see you in here, Roger. We got Nick C says Mike S. Miller got a green screen today. That's all the comic book news you need to know. That should be interesting.
Well,
Uh,
might as well close down the stream.
yeah,
Shit.
there's just
I was
well,
gonna
that's enough of
say, so
that, right?
We're done. Yeah.
he bought a green sheet.
Probably, yeah. Like, cool.
Mhm.
That's the. I'm glad that Mike's doing different stuff, and his kids are really interested in doing stuff. So I'm sure he can do. He'll be doing video game stuff with them with that. Jennifer's in here, and she says hello. Well, hello, Jennifer. We got Turtle Rabbit, and
Hey,
he's
Mike
all about the
Miller at
piggies.
Patreon Pie
He
sometime.
loves the
Yeah.
piggies. And I don't know why, but the piggies are in full demand over here. Uh, we have Dave's in here. He says, "Oh dear," and he spelled the D-E-R. He's talking about my hunting, I guess. Bullet says, "I am all sass Jordan even." All right. Devilish Boardman says sometimes something. J Potts, hey, what's up, J Potts? We got
Sometimes Booster has a good idea. That's what he's referring to.
well, that happens occasionally, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Devilish says belts and zippers edition. Oh, okay, all
I have
right.
no idea what that's referring to.
Okay. Bullet, I don't know. Yeah, it's something sexual, I'm sure. Bullet says, "Fat girls don't deserve my love." Oh, that's not that's
Brutal.
horrible.
I'll take all those fat
Hellrod,
girls.
hey, huh? What?
I'll take all those fat girls. I don't mind.
Yeah, nothing wrong with fat girls, man.
Mhm.
Hellrod says Henry Cavill is too muscular for Elric. Well, I didn't know he was playing Elric.
Hellrat being cute. A lot of people think that what's his name, Sapowski, I think is his name, the Polish guy who wrote the Witcher series,
Hmm.
plagiarized a lot of it from the Elric stories,
Well, he did.
Mhm.
which
He took it
which he
from
did.
Tolkien as well.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean that's fantasy. Everything's plagiarized from somewhere,
Mm,
so you
Uh,
can't really get on him too hard about it,
mhm.
in my opinion.
And to be fair, and even though I'm not 100% happy about it, all modern fantasy is coming out of what Tolkien wrote. It really
Yes.
is. I mean,
Which is a real shame because
It
fantasy
is.
means whatever the mind can think of.
That's right.
But then we keep falling on the same tropes.
Well, and it also of course, D&D came straight out of Tolkien. I mean, directly, but it gave us this standard concept of the human, the little short dwarf, the slender, tallish elven person, the hobbit. We get these standard tropes, and they won't go away.
I mean,
right?
if it wasn't for Tolkien, Elves would still be enslaved by Santa.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying there are so many other fantasy aspects, cultural fantasy aspects that we could do, but you can't get around Tolkien, which shows you the powerhouse that he was. And of course, the fact that you got to keep this in mind. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings series, it was actually originally one book. His Lord of the Rings was voted the number one book of the 20th century, right?
Mhm.
And to understand what that really means, there were more books written in the 20th century than in the rest of the history of man.
Mhm.
That's not a fake statement. That's not hyperbole at all. Matter of fact, the number, of course, some of it there's some assumption has been involved, but it's actually maybe be double to quadruple the number of the rest of history. And the fact that he was voted the number one book of the 20th century, damn, dude. That's saying something. So
Well, in fairness, I would say, I mean, to give him his just desserts, he probably wrote the most perfect mythology of all time.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's true.
I can't think of a better overall, like, as its whole thing, taken as all of it is, that's better than it.
Mhm.
I would say Lovecraft is close. It's in the same ballpark,
Yeah.
but it's still not Tolkien.
No, it's certainly not. And there have been a
Mm.
lot of great mythologies created by many, many people, but Tolkien's effect is almost insidious, if I were to use that word. Bullet says, Lensman, look into it, dude. Very nice reference, Bullet. Victor says, check out Snarky Weezer's channel. Oh, I'm not snarky, nor am I a Weezer. Reviews of movies, books, comics, everything. Oh, someone else. Okay. Food, smoke, drugs, sex, hell, the works. Oh, so I don't mind sex part. Sex part's good. All right. March here says working on the Blaze run too. More money and harder to find. Okay. All right. Cool. I've caught up. So let me go over here and let's get into some of our news. We don't have a lot today,
Oh,
but we have what we have. I think is interesting.
good thing we filled up the time with the nonsense.
Oh, well, just having a chat, dude. Just having a chat. All right, so let's come over here and let's get into it. Now, the first bit of story, I think is kind of interesting. Go ahead, Booster.
The latest on Marvel's MODOK animated series. What
Hmm.
are they
Now,
doing with this?
well, we talked about this, and this is an adult animated series. I don't know what that word means in this case, but it's not for kids. It's like an adult swim, I guess. I don't really know what they mean by the adult. But the interesting thing is Patton Oswalt, who I like quite a bit. I think he's a funny guy.
Mm.
He has got his claws on this. Now, he's an actual Marvel fan. I know he is because one of the places I see him on regular is Red Letter Media. And he goes over there with those guys and does movie reviews and does their goofy things they do. And he's talked about that a few times. He also loves Modoc, and not only is he writing this series, he is actually going to be the voice of Modoc as well. Now, this
Okay.
article doesn't give us much information, which they never do, right? This is from Bleeding Fool, by the way, which is one of the community went and made their own channel in it. It's pretty good, actually. It doesn't tell us much other than what I just told you. I just kind of surmised it. But uh, I like the idea of one having a Modoc series. It's going to be more comedy based, obviously. It's going to have some adult humor in it, so I'm assuming some swearing. And it could be a really fun approach to a Marvel series that's very different. And that's one thing I can say, no matter whether you like Kevin Feige or not. Kevin Feige has been really good about mixing up the genre and keeping it fresh. He's really been good about that. And having an adult comedy series about with Modoc and Patton Oswalt, dude, that's awesome, man. Come on.
This sounds very similar to what they're doing with Harley Quinn over at DC. And
Yeah, but that's gonna suck,
that
I'm sure.
actually,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it actually turned out really well,
Yeah, it's gonna suck. I know it's gonna suck. I'm pretty sure.
and it was a very funny show. When even
I'm
gone it,
pretty
there's
sure.
7 episodes out.
It's racist. It's sexist crap. I don't know.
Racist, sexist crap.
Sexist.
As you watch it, he thinks he knows
Stupid
what it's all
character. It's a
about.
stupid character. Harley Quinn. Huh.
Oh yeah, I thought it was going to be crap as well because of that. Because she is a well overly pushed character, and I watched it. I don't know why I went and watched it, but I started begrudgingly enjoying it, and now I think it's a great show.
Now,
It's
a lot of people have said that. Actually,
yeah,
it seems to be pretty
it's
funny.
it's
Yeah,
actually genuinely a very funny show, and
yeah.
that pisses me off. I hate being wrong.
Okay, but no, I've heard it was pretty. A lot of people like it actually. But this right here is interesting to me. You got any opinion on this, Bob?
I'm gonna. You know what? I've actually started kind of holding back on prejudging things.
Sure.
I got kind of put in my place when I watched. I was kind of talking bad about the Wonder Woman 84 trailer, and then talking about how there's some leaks and how off it was, and it's like, you know what? Anything can sound awful if you word it right. Just like
It did
anything can
look
sound
pretty bad.
amazing.
It was a bad trailer, dude. It was a bad
Yeah.
trailer. We don't know what
Uh-oh.
the movie will look like, but the trailer was pretty bad.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, I'm not rooting for them to fail.
No, hope not.
I mean, if they can stay out of their own way, they could probably do something good with it. So I mean, hey, I'm pulling for them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Wonder Woman movie was kind of the best thing they put out, and it was like,
Easily.
well, at least it didn't suck. Is kind of the attitude I had about it. So I hope it just gets
Isn't that
better.
funny?
Yeah,
That the
Mhm.
best thing DC puts out is like, yeah.
yeah, that's not
And as
that's
far as
unfortunate.
shame.
Yeah,
and as far as Patton Oswalt, I mean, some of his stand up is funny. He's obviously a raging SJW, but I mean, hey,
Mhm.
if
Well,
you're creative and you can get
he's
out, like I
pretty
said, if you can get out of your own
well,
way,
let,
he is
let,
pretty insufferable.
he is, but let's adjust that just a touch. I don't think he's insufferable. I think he is an SJW, but he's an old school liberal SJW, meaning that there's a certain line
I
you
don't
don't
think that at
cross. You don't. So there's
all.
information I don't
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, he's been very. If you'd said that like 2 or 3 years ago, I would have agreed with you. But
Oh, that's
in
too
the
bad.
last few years, he's like, yeah, me too. Because I actually really liked, like I said, I liked his stand up, but he kind of went over the edge.
That's too
Uh,
bad. Well, still,
Trump
I
broke
want to
these
see it
people together.
because the thing
Mhm.
with when I think of Modoc, I don't think I could envision a better person to take on Modoc than Patton Oswalt. I mean, it just seems perfect in my
I
brain.
mean, he does
Thundero.
good work. I mean, his voice as Happy was perfect.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Oh,
Go
dude,
ahead.
and the character he played on Agents of Shield, I actually really liked that character.
Yeah, I like Patton Oswalt. Thundero.
Um, what I said was is Trump broke these people. They're
Yeah.
completely
Yeah,
broken.
yeah,
Their mask, their veneer of normalcy and reality is gone.
yeah. But
He wouldn't back down to their bullying, so they just broke. They didn't have anything else. That's all they got. They don't have great
yeah, but
ideas. They don't have the ability to coerce people with logic or even make great deals like Trump does.
Yeah.
All they had was their bullying, constant bullying, 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 and Trump's just like, nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Trump deranged
but
syndrome's a real
Oswald,
thing. Yeah.
I don't, on the plus, Oswald is a comic book fan. He's a big comic book fan. I don't know if you
He
guys have
is.
ever seen that video where he was doing it was the comedic take on Batman and the Penguin.
Yeah, it's
That
Batman.
was
It's
freaking
Batman.
hilarious.
Cold humor. It
Yeah,
is so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
but I mean, hey, like I said,
Look at the
I
little fella, all
Yeah.
tuckered out.
Yeah, but you know what I have a feeling this is going to be. Just this is my opinion, just based on Patton Oswalt. I have a feeling this is going to be, Modoc is going to be Austin Powers' Doctor Evil. He's got to go that direction with it, I think, and it could be freaking hilarious, dude.
It could be funny.
Yeah.
It could be very
Yeah,
funny.
it could
Yeah, I
be.
mean, and like I said, if they can stay out of their own way, they could do something good.
Yeah, if they just stuck with doing the show and didn't care about
Yeah.
anything else. Yeah, that's the problem. For the most part, don't care what your opinions are. You're free to have them. Just make some entertainment. But that's a bit sad that you're telling me that.
Isn't this the character that they did a Trump parody of really recently?
Yeah, it is. But it's also the character
That's
that,
true.
in the right hands, a couple of writers have actually done some really good stories with him.
Well, he's absolutely deadly. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be clear about it. Modoc is a creation of AIM, and he ended up taking over the whole damn organization there. But he's often done as a comic relief. I remember There's been several animated series where he's kind of comic relief, which is weird. I get it; it was funny, but because he got this big giant head, but this guy is actually straight up deadly. I will see how they do. I thought it was cool, little bit of news, and I'm a little more sad now, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's time for a
Thi-
trailer.
Things will change.
They will eventually, yeah. But Patton has always been, whatever. I'm gonna let it lie. I am going to watch a trailer here from the CW. Now, the CW is a channel that has yet to copyright claim one of my videos. Now, I got my little watermark there. Now, let me put the bigger one. I'm going to put the bigger watermark. There you go. That's a bit better one. So we're going to see if this works or not. This could be copyright struck, but I don't care. I'm doing it. So this right here is Stargirl. Now, of course, she showed up in some they introduced during Crisis on Infinite Earth or some nonsense that's going on with CW. And this is a CW show. I have zero faith in this, zero faith. But I kind of always like Stargirl, dude, and because she's got this giant robot with her, right? And
The
I
last
always
time the CW tricked me with a show that I thought would look good was Black Lightning, because I thought that first
that
trailer
was
was
so disappointing, dude.
Mhm.
Like,
That first trailer was really cool. I loved that soul music. It was all looking really awesome. And then it came out. It was complete anti-white, anti-police, Black Lives
Yeah.
Matter nonsense.
Although the first
Ruined
episode
for
wasn't as bad, but that went down an alley where once again they're going to have a female Black Lightning. Hate the white people, hate the cops, and it's like nope, I'm out.
Just crap.
Yeah, it
Absolute
was really
crap.
sad. Yeah, but anyway, for me, I like I said, I always like Stargirl. Particularly, I always like the robot. So I'm watching it. Damn it, and I don't care what you guys think. I'm doing it. It's done.
Have a super great day.
Have a super great day, Dad.
Girl.
The move and a new stepfather, but we're gonna live a good life.
Just as heavy breathing.
Shut up. I gotta pause it, so it's paused. Okay, we're in the future.
She is a little hottie.
She is a little hottie. She's kind of scrawny, but she's a bit hottie, yeah, for sure. And of course, one thing I have to put at least a half a thumbs up is the fact that her father's not here, but at least there's a stepdad, right? At least it's not another single mom story, right? All right,
Yeah.
all right, and it's a white man. Oh my God.
That's
shocking.
Owen Wilson's brother, though?
Yep.
Is it?
It's Luke Wilson, yeah.
Luke
Okay.
Wilson.
Sweet.
They got Luke Wilson.
All right, let's see here, little girl. What's gonna happen?
He's so weird looking.
It's called the Cosmic Staff. The staff's not supposed to work for anyone except Starman. I was Starman's sidekick.
Oh, you were.
The Justice Society of America died saving the world. Someone must carry the torch.
This is our destiny.
Uh-oh. She has a destiny, guys. Oh, there it is. There it is.
There's it's a robot. Just as
Yeah.
excited for robots.
Oh, come on. It could be cool, dude, if they don't.
Stargirl.
I'm okay. Yes, you are Stargirl. I see. I know I can't have any hope for it. I know I can't because it's
It's not a bad
CW.
trailer at all. It's actually
No,
a very good
It is
trailer.
a good trailer.
Very
Yeah.
It's funny how most of it's shot in the dark, right? That's budgetary reasons to make the CG look better.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Explain to me why we're allowed to get a Stargirl that looks like Stargirl, but we can't get a Flash ever that looks like Barry Allen. Just it's not right.
Right? This girl's a spitting image of
Yeah.
Stargirl.
Yeah. Well,
And I really hope that they pay this character a lot of respects because this character is based
No.
on
Come on.
Jeff Johns' deceased sister.
yeah.
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 Um,
Dude, you know they're not.
No,
I know.
probably
I know,
not.
but I just feel like they should be. It's the girl's even named after the man's sister. I just
Yeah,
want.
but-
I just hope
Yeah.
she gets more respect.
A
Well,
lot of
here-
these shows Johns is involved in, at least at an upper executive level. He probably is this too.
Yeah. Well,
he was. He's not really very involved with them anymore.
yeah, well, he's had
They
some
could-
failures. But the thing that I think leans in the favor of this show is the fact that she is a silly little teenage girl that needs to learn a lot, right? And that's the part of the character, right?
And she's gonna get mansplained too.
Yeah, but I mean, I hope she does because the one of the great arc
I
of
hope she gets
Stargirl.
mansplained too.
Well, no,
She needs a good mansplaining.
the arc of Stargirl is she's a stupid little girl who ends up learning and how to become a true hero. No, they've done this with many characters, of course, but that's her
Spider-Man
arc.
immediately comes to mind.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think this character could fit very well in modern time, actually, if they give her the arc. Now, the problem is, more than likely, she won't get the arc. She'll be perfect from the beginning and never learn anything. But I don't know. I know it's CW. I can't hold any expectation, but I just was kind of excited when we first saw that. It was like, cool, Stargirl, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like you know what, dude? Like again, I would love to be proven wrong, but when it comes to the CW, they're one of the few places where I'm like, you know what? It's there's little hope.
Yeah, I know. And the thing I have to say though about that trailer, it looked good. And the characters look good because I got an article here that we're going to end with today. The CW really doesn't know that. I think the best word for CW is lame.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah,
word.
that's a good word for it. It's lame acting, lame special effects, and it's supposed to appeal to teenagers. You know.
Yeah.
That's a good word for all of it. For all of the SJW agenda. It's just lame.
It's not
cringy
cool.
and lame.
It's
You're
not cool, Dad. Stop it.
You're
Put
not
the wig
cool,
away.
kid.
You're not a woman, Dad. Stop it.
Yeah, right. That's a fair point. Now, I was going to do that at the end, but maybe I should just do it right now.
What, the wig?
And I will. I'm going to put it right here next to this one and connect
no.
it. Okay,
Oh,
so now
Oh no.
this article here.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
No.
Oh, what in God's name is that?
Now,
Brainiac 5 gets a new look in Supergirl.
it's pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty
Couldn't
bad.
possibly be worse.
It could be,
I mean,
I suppose.
Supergirl. Whoever is doing the costumes in Supergirl needs to be fired and flung into the ocean because
Oh, dude.
they did this to Brainiac 5. They did that to my boy Martian Manhunter.
Oh God.
And Red Tornado was an embarrassment as well. It's, what are you people doing?
Well,
Did you
of course,
did you see what the friggin' anti-monitor looked like? It was like the worst cosplay I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, they're really bad. But of course, Brainiac 5 is interesting to me because he's from the future, like 30th century, Justice League, right? And he's a good guy.
Legion of Superheroes.
Which
Legion
I
of
liked.
Superheroes, yeah.
I enjoyed that series, and it was a really good animated series too. That had him in it. But that is a very bad costume. It's really, really bad.
Okay.
It's just
Is this his new look though, or is this his old look? Let's scroll down and see if he has a new look that looks better.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got this little
Scroll.
resting bitch face girl. I mean, she does that resting bitch face pretty well. Not quite Brie
She
Larson
was-
level, but
She was looking quite good for a while. I remember her first reveal looking quite nice, but then she got this weird little haircut, and they gave her massive pants, and oh no!
oh,
It
dude,
was
the
just,
moment they
what are they
didn't
doing to the girl?
the moment they didn't put her in a halter top and a miniskirt, I was out.
Well, the other thing is Supergirl's whole point is she's super cheery, right? She's supposed to be upbeat, happy, a joy to be around, and pretty much basically just a female version of Clark, but even more so, like more boisterous in her joy. And this girl's not that. Now she's a little bit of that, I guess, from the little bit I've seen, like in her portrayal. But why is every picture it look like she's resting bitch face? Why does she look so like angry?
Yeah.
Like what?
Because that's what strong women do. Strong
I
women
suppose.
pout.
Yeah. She isn't necessarily a bad look though. I could buy her as Kira.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Spinning image just about.
They keep directing her to look like she's mean and
yeah, and of course it's just lame and it's so full of progressivism. It's just it's bad.
Keep scrolling, Chester.
I am scrolling because it gets worse, brother. It gets worse.
Oh no! Oh! What is that? No!
It's really bad, Daryl.
Like, hey, it worked for Cavill.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's pretty bad, guys.
I think we broke Booster.
He's the right age. He's a little bit old, just a touch older than my kids. So I bet you he grew up with that animated series of the future Justice League.
Is this supposed to be Brainiac in his Brad Pitt Legends of the Fall phase?
I guess.
Did I mention no?
Yeah. It's really bad, dude. I mean, come on, look at it. It's really,
How
really
did they
bad.
make it worse?
They did though.
He looks like Caitlyn Jenner.
He looks like
in green face.
well, the problem is how the transgenders keep on lying about how they keep getting murdered every year more and more, and of course it's not true at all. Well, this is kind of a case for it.
Disavow, please don't destroy our streams, just YouTube. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, he said something naughty. Dude, come on. That is bad,
Jewish
dude.
people, the black-faced and the trannies, how are we still here?
Well, Booster, it just might be that I know people.
Oh,
If Saturday Night Live can put a skit with The Rock where he makes a child molesting robot on YouTube, you can say that.
Mhm.
Mm.
uh,
I don't know what more to say. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
That is sad, though, dude.
Y'all people are making my blood pressure worse.
Y'all
Oh,
people.
no.
All right.
Dark Admiral
Y'all
White
people.
actually makes a good point here. That does actually kind of look like Brie Larson.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. It's their new goddess. Yeah.
Why are his eyes so close together? Like, what's going? I feel bad for this dude's face. He looks like those memes of Charlie Kirk. If anybody's seen him, where his face just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, let's move away before we give an aneurysm to the poor Booster. The next bit of news is interesting anyway. Booster, go ahead, dude.
What do you got here? Disney drops Fox from 20th Century Studios.
Oh my God, it was so bad it's made him start eating. Uh-oh.
Stress eating.
I have pizza. I can't deal with this
I'm
anymore.
feeding
My
my
diet is ruined,
emotions.
sister.
Now, this article is, that's it. It's one of these useless articles that don't really have any information, but the information itself is interesting because basically what Fox has done, or excuse me, Disney has done, is they've taken the name Fox and burned it alive. And now it's only 20th Century Studios, only 20th Century. So Fox is gone.
You
And
want to give me back Marvel, huh, you son of a bitch?
well,
I'll
how
show
long has
you,
Fox
huh?
been around, right? Think about that.
Okay.
Disney has expunged it from existence. And I'm kind of wondering who was responsible for that. Maybe Perlmutter, possibly. But what do you guys think about Disney just taking the Fox off and just keeping 20th Century?
I'm surprised they're even keeping 20th Century, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm
Well, it's good.
surprised they're keeping any of it.
Well, it's a cool logo, though. I mean, it's a cool entry, with the
Oh yeah.
spotlights all over the place and such.
How long do you think before they turn Mickey Mouse's head into the 2 and the O? And
that's happening, dude. Yeah, that's happening.
yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, is this a practical decision, or is this just take that, Fox? We beat you down, we bought you, and now we have shat upon you and eliminated you from history. Wahaha! I mean,
This is Disney planting the flag basically, and they're saying all of this stuff is ours.
yeah, it's interesting. Sad, but interesting because Disney. Oh, man, Walt Disney must be turning in his grave, dude. His company has become literally the opposite of what he wanted it to be. I mean, his intention was to bring people together. That's what he wanted to do. Family, all these things, and Disney has just become this tyrannical, typical big business, anti-family, socialist crap. And it's like,
Soulless Corp.
yeah, it's really sad, man. All that effort, he put his whole life into it. I mean, his whole life he put toward this thing, and look what it's become. But oh well. I mean,
Yeah, he worked till the day they froze his head.
they didn't freeze his head. Not that. But
yes,
he did work.
Yes, they did, Chester. They buried it. It's underneath the original Cinderella's castle. Everybody knows that.
Fine. But he did work until the day he died. That's true. But it's sad what has become of Disney for sure. Anyway, next. Oh no. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? It doesn't look like a good thing.
Mahmoud Asa.
Mahmoud.
Oh no, now I'm a racist. Takes over X-Men #8. Why does X-23 over here look like she has forks coming out of her hands. What's that?
Because
What's
she
that all about?
does, and she's all
She
about
got
the lesbian
utensil talents,
love, I'm
kid.
sure. But
No,
Mahmoud Asrar, which is a pretty cool name, takes
that's
over
a
X-Men number
rubbish name.
8.
I don't like it.
Okay, but I do believe I've heard this name before, though, is the problem. And I don't think it was in a
Mm,
good situation. Now, this is X-Men Red. We know X-Men Red is not good. This
mm,
right here is like not great art. This is really not Marvel level art.
mm.
It's really not. Now,
It's a modern day Marvel level. Yeah,
but it's not though, dude. That's not
yeah,
worthy.
I know.
It's not worthy. Um,
No, no, this should definitely be getting a pass. And I'm sorry, but I'm fixated on those claws. Why do they have little jagged points coming
it's
out of it? How
supposed to
does
be
that come out of a
shiny. They're
hand?
supposed to be
Those are supposed
shiny.
to be. They're badly drawn reflections. Is what they
Yeah, they
are.
should have been lines instead of some,
They,
solid piece. Yeah.
but they look like forks. But
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, can someone please look up Mahmoud Asrar and tell me where he's coming from because that name sounds too familiar to
Pakistan.
me. Thank you. That's not what I
Yep.
meant. I meant what has he worked on before? He's an artist, of
Oh.
course.
Well, no, he's a writer.
that's more what we expect from Marvel. That's pretty kick-ass.
No, I think
Yeah,
he's an artist, isn't he?
no, I believe he's a writer.
Well, what's happening with old Lex Luthor's head over there? Go back to that.
It's really
What is
bad.
that?
It's bad art,
What
dude.
is X doing? He looks like he's having a Vietnam flashback.
He's a writer. He's a writer, dude.
What
Okay.
is that face?
Marvel, your art. What are you doing, Marvel?
Oh no,
eyes are looking away
he's
from
both.
each other.
He's both. You're correct.
He's
He is an
both.
artist and a
Oh,
writer.
okay, well that
He
explains
looked
it.
like
Yeah.
he was having
Which
a bloody staring competition with Magneto, and he's trying not to lose, and his eyes just separated. What's going on?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is really sad. It's especially sad because every week on the Draw and a Quarter show here on this channel, we have better artists. Every week,
Yeah.
right?
But
Uh,
yeah, actually, I'm now that you mentioned it, I was like, okay, well, I didn't understand why they were replacing Hickman as the writer because they're banking everything on him. Like, okay, no, they're just having him come and do the art.
Well, this X-Men has really been ground center for their SJW ism and Squirrel Girl, of course. But they've really wanted to push their progressivism through the X-Men comics quite a bit, and they've done some pretty abominable things with it. But what has he worked on before?
He worked on X-Men Red, like
Which
you're talking
sucks.
about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else he's done.
Well, he's done interior art for Conan the Barbarian. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of art. He's done the Ultimate Comics X-Men, Wolverine, X-Men, X-Men Red, Uncanny X-Men. So he's doing a lot of art. No, Hickman is still writing it. He's just doing the art,
Right.
dude. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. But still, I'm not loving what they're doing with X-Men at all, dude. Now, fair enough. I haven't read it in a little bit because it put me off so much. But I don't know. This could be.
Oh,
I do like his style though. He's not that
yeah.
horrible an artist.
He's the guy that was doing pencils on Valkyrie, the Jane Foster Valkyrie series.
Ugh, ew.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right.
Ew.
Ew. Just ew all over it. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Tell it. Oh.
Now this right here is absolute clickbait.
Oh,
The most
no.
beautiful level of clickbait, and it's from CBR. Oh wow! I'm surprised.
Well,
Go ahead.
alrighty. Spider-Man Civil War Unmasking is about to get a remake with a twist.
Okay. Now, first of all,
What is it? What's
Spider-Man
happening?
has nothing at all to do with this article in the least. Nothing to do with this
Is that
article.
the twist?
Maybe. No, the twist is that there is a new thing that's going on because they have a new arc that they're working on here. What were they calling it? What was it being called again? Outlaw. Outlaw. And in
Outlaw,
this,
yeah.
they have the Kamala Law, I think is what they're calling it, and where children, young kids, are not allowed to be superheroes, type of thing. Kamala's Law. There you go, which is gets put in place because of her or something like that. And of course, in the end, what happens is Kamala reveals her identity to the world, and stands up for the young, powered people. Now, and that's the twist because it says nothing to do with Spider-Man. It's all about Kamala Khan, right? Yeah,
Why are they so desperately trying to replace Spider-Man with Kamala Khan? That is
because
what
they
I feel
have
has been
to. It's
happening for the
time,
past
Booster.
few
It's
years.
time.
It's
It
their
is time.
time now, Booster. Gosh.
Yeah, but no one is going to accept it ever.
No, nobody.
No one,
You can't replace
because
Spider-Man
Spider-Man is
with
one of the greatest characters ever made.
it is
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
I
But you're
mean, I
not.
mean,
Yeah.
Dan Slott tried to commit character assassination on him, so
Well,
Yeah,
he tried.
I mean,
He did. Yeah.
when it comes to kids, right? I can't think of a more beloved hero for kids, right? When people grow older, they start to get more appreciation for, say, uh, Batman, Superman,
Mm.
Daredevil, or
Or
whatever.
some
But when it comes
weirdos
to
with
like 10-year,
Quasar. Ugh.
yeah, what bunch of weirdos? Don't mention them anyway. But
or
with
Booster
10-year-olds, I
Gold.
can't think of it. You shut
Yeah.
your fucking mouth.
F bomb, sir.
It was deserved. I was
It
trying to make
was.
a point
It
about how
was. It
kids
was.
just love Spider-Man, but you
Yeah.
just gotta shit all over my Booster Gold.
Yeah.
You gotta be that way. I'm angry now.
My work here
Okay.
is done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not replacing Spider-Man with Kamala Khan because she is not a great character. She could have been, but she screwed it up. You're not replacing Spider-Man with fake Spider-Man, as in a la Miles Morales. You're not doing it, right? And they keep trying, but that's what they're doing here. Like I said, this article has nothing to do with
It
Spider-Man.
could have been a
This is
lot
all
less
about
offensive if
Kamala.
they just gave him a different name.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Any other
whatever.
little name, Web Shock or something. I don't know. He has
No,
like
they should
electric
have.
powers on him.
That's right. They should just get,
It's a
and
different name, but they had to call him Spider-Man. Not even Spider-Boy. What are you doing?
well, here's the thing though. When he was in the Ultimate Comics, what they did with him in that was fine because it's the Ultimate Comics. But when they brought him over to the main world, that he should have changed at that point. He should have got his own name and become his own character.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the mistake. Was right there. It wasn't in the
Yeah.
Ultimate series. It was fine. But yeah, this is don't care at all. Yeah, you liars. You
They're
clickbaiting
also trying to
liars.
push it with a hashtag that is so cringy.
hmm hmm
Oh my god, get off the internet, Dad.
Yeah, and this has nothing to do with Civil War either. Nothing at all. Right.
Yeah, what
This
the hell's
has
that?
more to do with the what was the X-Men storyline where the registration act was going in? What was that called?
The Extinction Agenda.
The Extinction Agenda. That has a lot more to do with that than it does anything that's in this headline, right? So, liar, CBR, liar, liar, pants on fire, bastards. And why do you put Tildeer in your own headline?
That's cringy. Don't do that.
The
Right.
kids like it, Chester. The kids.
Yeah, but Tildeer is an insult. It means too long, didn't read, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Because these are literal, actual boomers in every sense of that word. And they don't understand that they're insulting themselves. They think they're being hip and cool. Look, teal your guys.
Whoa.
It's
Now,
really dumb. It's really
Tim-
cringy. It's lame.
Tim-
In fact, lame is the perfect word for it. It's lame.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Tim Adams. We got to. Oh my, he looks just
Oh,
like
boy.
Jiminy Cricket. Must be his cousin.
Doxed. You doxed. You just doxed him.
I did.
Or do you mean the actual Jiminy Cricket from? from
No, I mean our
Pinocchio?
Jiminy Cricket, our
Okay.
extremely talented Jiminy
All right.
Cricket that's on our channel. But he does look like Jiminy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave that right there. You need to stop being a clickbaiter, sir. Stop being a clickbaiter.
Stop it.
Last story of the
Quit.
day. Another story from CBR that means nothing, and I think that's the
Marvel
theme of the
reveals-
day.
Oh,
Lame,
was the Ghost
lame,
And it makes total sense.
lame.
Who was the Ghost
All right,
Rider? Chester?
I'm
Who
going to
was
shut
it?
you up. The boom.
Ah! Oh! No!
All right, here we go.
No! I submit.
All right, go ahead, Booster.
Marvel reveals spoiler was a Ghost Rider, and it makes total sense.
Now, before I get into this article, I would like you guys to guess who was the hidden Ghost Rider that you'd never realized was a Ghost Rider. Who would you guess? Who do you
Punisher.
think? No.
I can't
Get
can't
it.
be a part of this because I've actually read this comic.
Moon Knight.
Lindero?
I have no idea.
Spider-Man.
No. Yeah, it's actually so stupid.
Me.
It would have been better actually if it were you. The
The
Maori
Joker.
that is you. But
Joker.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting, actually. I'd read that
Anti-monarch.
comic.
Well, but actually, with Booster, it could have been. Actually, he does time travel.
Yeah.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing: this article means so little, and this storyline means so little that I don't even. I can't even. I can't even. All right,
Speaking of
here's your. Oh,
dads using
there it
ego,
is. There is your hidden Ghost
the
Rider,
Headless Horseman,
the
is
headless
that
horseman.
it?
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Lame.
Yeah, which is it's really sad because the underlying storyline for this comic is actually pretty good, but some of the stuff they're putting in is just like cringe fuel.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so
kind of makes
stupid.
sense. I don't know.
Yeah, of course it makes sense. And they were like, you know what? What if the headless horseman was
It's
the
just-
spirit of vengeance? Oh my god! Oh my god!
But the thing is it's like they're
That's what
making a
happened.
big deal out of it, and it's literally that one panel, and that's it. They never even talk about it again.
And they made an article about this one panel.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say, until I get a full-on Western Ghost Rider, I don't care about Ghost Rider.
What?
I'm
Yeah.
just-
Why is that not a thing?
Why have we not done this yet?
Yeah. Why don't they
Uh,
give
With
us an
a
old
with a
one? That'd be
bonefire
cool.
horse.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at Ian Cardona. He's all Italian and,
when-
such.
And when he's ready to get real
Cool.
super
Got
serious,
shade.
he has like a full-on Ghost Rider-ified train. How freaking
Oh,
cool
yeah.
would that be? A ghost
Oh
train.
yeah.
That would be
freaking
cool,
A.
dude.
With
That
like
would
a
be cool.
screaming skull at the front of the train.
Yeah.
Fire
Yeah, you know
blazing
it.
out of it. Hell yeah.
That would be very cool. Although to be fair, the new Ghost Rider, the Latino kid in the car, I don't mind that character. I think he's pretty cool.
no.
Because Ghost Rider is one of those things that you can do. You can do that with. You can do anything you want.
There's so much you can do with Ghost Rider, and
Yeah.
it's so wasted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, take the same idea of doing him as a Western, which I agree with Thundera 100%. I would love to see that. But what if we made him, put him in the future, which I know they did in a weird way, and he had like a Spirit of Vengeance spaceship?
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Mhm.
cool.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's
We call that
that's the,
Lobo.
no, that's the current. That's the Frank Castle Ghost Rider. That's the
Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, but I don't want Frank Castle to be the Ghost Rider. That's dumb. I don't want that. That's not smart.
Yeah, Frank Castles should have a long time ago died as the Punisher. Like that's
Yeah.
the way that character should go out.
Yes, he is he's a tragic
Well,
character.
he did
Yes.
die. He did die,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
I
actually went to in the storyline, and then Odin kicked him out because he was pissing him off.
That sounds like ambush bug. But
Well-
but that is our last story for today, guys. Let me come back over here real quick and just for one more effect.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because it's fun.
Why is this happening to me?
I mean, no, come on, look at it, look. That's horrible. It's really horrible. And then you're like,
I
how
can't
could you do
believe the
that?
new
It's so
look was
bad.
even
And then
worse. How
boom.
did you make it worse?
It's wonderful. I mean, look, I want to do it again. There it is. That's real. Wow,
Can I-
that sucked.
Can I end this
And like,
stream with some good news?
oh my
Can I do
god,
that?
oh my god, that's like offensive. Yeah,
I want to end this stream with good news, okay? If
Go
you
ahead.
come over to where I am.
I will. I'm going to come
So,
over to
I'm,
where
I'm-
he is, and I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, look at that! Isn't that nice?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
This is my boy Larry Higgins doing his Niobe birthright, and look at it's been a few days. He's almost all funded. It's
Sweet.
good stuff, man. He is $100 away from being funded, guys. It's been 3 days. He is definitely going to make it. The 91 backers. My boy Larry is kicking ass. I am so happy for him, dude.
Well, you should bring him on the show next week, dude.
Well, I'm gonna get him on the show sometime, and I'm just going to be like, bruh, give me some money.
Oh, okay.
Let me borrow a couple.
You got to
bucks,
pay
bro.
to be your friend. I see. I get it. All right.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
A little
And
bit of fame.
yeah, you're due, by the way, Chester. You're
Uh-huh.
well due.
You
also,
do realize you
Earthworm
pay
Jim.
me, right?
What? No, the other way around. We've also got Earthworm Jim just launched on Kickstarter as well, and I believe our boy Pixel Trader is tracking both of them on Indigron.
He is. Yes, he is. Definitely check
mhm.
out Indicron. He's got that up and smoking again, so that's really cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, these are both good things. Matter of fact, somewhere along the run, we're going to have to get Doug back in here, talk to us about it. I'll give him a
Absolutely.
call and get him on the show.
Let's piss the Doug.
Well, you know what we should do? We had Doug on the show doing talk about his character. Maybe, but did we have him on the Drawn and Quartered for Earthworm Jim?
Yes, we did.
We did. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Well, we'll see if we can't get Doug over here to say hello to us. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. We do have an interview. We're starting to get some interviews. We had Rick Piper, of course, earlier in the month here, but we're going to start doing interviews again. We have John De La Rose coming up in 2 days on Wednesday's Fanspeak show, and that should be fun. See what John is doing. Keep in mind that tomorrow, Bob and I and a few other people are going to be doing the Moonshae Isles continued story in episode 18, I do believe. And boy, do I got a story headed for you guys, man. I really, really know exactly what we're doing. I got it all laid out. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
We
So
will set fire to yet another town.
it probably. But dude, no, what I have set up is freaking epic, dude. It is freaking epic. It's just gonna blow your mind, especially if you're a D&D person. If you know anything about the Forgotten Realms, come on down because I got something for you. But That's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, the rest of the week, we got our fan speak on Wednesday, and we got our Drone Recorder Ultimate Edition on Thursday. So we're going to see how this new format works. Of course, it's a little interesting because we only have 2 shows a week now where we're going to be covering news. We have this one and the Fanspeak one. So it actually might let the news be a little bit more discerning. Because usually we just grab anything we can find, but doing it this way, it will actually have news that's more harvested. You know what I mean?
It'll help poor Denali with his job because the poor guy had to scrape in the bottom of the barrel sometimes.
He does. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Him and
he has a
Sumley.
pretty tough job, and he has to go on all the crappiest websites to find us news. I don't think we appreciate our Denali enough.
It's
He,
true.
he goes into the heart of enemy territory
He
to
does.
bring us this crap.
That's true. Has anyone spoken to Dinale at all? Like in 2
Yes.
months?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's alive.
Yeah, we've talked to him. He actually said he'd try to be on tonight. He's just this time of year he's super, 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 super busy. So
Well, his job is one of those kind of jobs. He is
Mhm.
like a public worker. I forget exactly the title, but he takes care of old people. He used to do the family thing, and that was rough. So at least this job's a little bit better. But yeah, no, cool. Hopefully we get Denali back on and have our Denali Llama, which we desperately need. But We're having fun, man. I'm enjoying it. This new format, we'll see how it works out. I think it's going to be cool. It's certainly going to give me a little bit more time. My wife will look at me in odd ways less, which is good. That's always
That's
good.
good.
Happy
Glad.
wife, happy life. That's important.
Mhm.
Well, to be fair, my wife is very chill anyway. That's why you marry a Japanese woman. See, it's pretty simple.
I'll go find me one then.
You
and I'll
should.
just go hunt.
They're pretty
I'll
easy.
hunt one down.
Yeah.
I'll catch one.
Are you a white male?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
Are you more than 5'5"?
Almost.
You will
Almost.
do well.
All right. Are you under 500 pounds?
Shh, let me do the math.
yes, he's way
Almost.
he's way
Almost. I know. I'm joking. No, actually, white dude, any kind of foreign dude, particularly a white dude, though, over here in Asia, you can do really well if that's what you're after. Which is kind of funny because I didn't know anything about that. I was a musician traveling. I was just kind of hanging out because I had a ton of money in my pocket and I wanted to hang out in Asia for a while and I ended up getting hitched. Man, it wasn't my plan. Trust me.
Well, I'm going to get a ticket right now.
You should.
I'm buying two.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's weird because white people in Asia do have privilege in a way. We have anti-privilege or they won't give you any responsibility. You're never going to have responsibility in the society, but if you depending on your character, that could be a good thing. But they
Guilty.
do white people do carry authority in Asia. So it benefits you, and the girls are like desperate. They'll just clamor all over everything to get to you, dude. So there you go.
Mm.
Asian Master Race incoming. We're gonna
Yeah.
send Booster. He's gonna be our primary stock as Booster
Yeah.
Gold.
You have to be
Oh,
careful
God.
though. You got to be careful. I got lucky, right? Because my wife's actually very attractive, but I'm kind of picky anyway, I guess. But you have to be careful because a lot of dudes when they come in, they don't really understand the Asian face. They haven't
Until it's
been
too
there long
late.
enough to learn it. So they kind of grab a girl that's the most eager to be around quickly, and it doesn't matter anyway. Love is love. But what you consider to be attractive might not actually be attractive after after a few years of understanding what the Asian
I
face
can't tell the difference between
looks
them.
like.
So
Yeah.
So they're all 10 out of 10s to me,
Just
baby.
ask my opinion, and I'll help you out. Send me
All
the
right.
picture, and
All
I'll
right.
approve it or
Yeah, I'll
disapprove it,
video,
and
I'll
I'll
face
stamp
call
it.
you sometimes just to be like, hey, Chester, is this bitch ugly or not?
Exactly. That's exactly what you should be doing, and I'll sort you out. I'll sort you out, brother. But
You're like, oh, what are you
yeah,
doing with that? Hey, Booster, put it away.
put it away. We're going to get him hitched here eventually, guys. We're going to sort it out. But nevertheless, thank you all very much, and I'm going to let everybody have their closing words. And you know what, Bob? You're doing Namaste today. I'm putting it on
Oh
you.
crap!
All
All right,
right.
let me find something.
All
Hang on
right.
a minute.
So let's
Yeah,
start off with our
give us
booster, of
some
course.
inspirational quotes while we're closing out.
Yeah. So go ahead, Booster.
All right. I love being alive and on this show. Those are my two favorite things. Thank you.
Well, awesome, dude. I feel humbled almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost. Sweet. Thundero, sir.
Today was actually a really good day for me. Not only did I get to finish The Witcher, but the big thing everybody was waiting for was the rally in Virginia, and it
Yeah.
went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
No violence recorded at all. I think only one person was arrested for wearing a mask or something.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a great day for everybody on my side of the political aisle. They did exactly what they said they were going to do, and afterwards they cleaned up like the adults they are. So
Yep.
I had a really good day. Other than that, I hope everybody else had a really good day, and we'll see you when we see you.
Sure, we'll do. Give them more information. Tell them what happened with the. Well, this happened a week or so ago, but tell them what happened with the congressional jerk offs.
Which ones?
Well, they dropped the bill.
Yeah, they did. They dropped the very bad one, the one that was the confiscations and things like that. As
Yeah.
far as I understand, they've I don't know if it's permanent, but they've as of now pushed it off the docket. They're not going
They
to be
did.
voting on it.
Now the other one, talking about militia and going after the militia, I think they need to stay on top of that one too, because that
Yes.
right there will hurt you. The bad one too, because there was two
Yeah.
bad ones, but one got dropped. So see, public action can be beneficial. It can be, and this goes out to the liberals as well. Antifa and all these absolutely, Black Lives Matters, these absolute terrorist groups. They could do things in a proper way. You don't have to be hateful, violent jerks. You don't have
Mhm.
to. You can just protest and do it positively. As a matter of fact, we're kind of coming up on a thing that's, I believe, called Martin Luther King Day. When is that?
Today.
Today. Oh, there you go. Perfect. I knew it was coming. But Martin Luther King, a lot of people like to quote him, especially black people, because they are all proud of it. But, Martin Luther King would not be pleased with you whatsoever. Do keep in mind, Martin Luther King was an American patriot. He loved his country. He was a constitutionalist. He was a conservative. He was most certainly a religious person. I mean, he's a frickin' preacher, right? But a lot of the things that Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and they always want to kind of put Martin Luther King as a badge on their chest. That dude would not be happy with you at
Mhm.
all, right? You are not doing it right as far as he's concerned. So stop taking claim to this dude because he would chastise you for sure.
There's
Uh,
actually a really good episode of the old Adult Swim show called Boondocks about if Martin
Yeah,
Luther King was still
I love
alive.
that.
Oh, that's
He
such a
comes
good
back.
episode.
It's a great episode. Anybody who's listening, if you haven't seen that, go at least seen the his speech at the end. It's great. It's
hmm
great.
I'm sure you can Google Boondocks Martin Luther King. You'll find it.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
But it's good. It's a good thing. I still personally don't think that this anywhere near is over. These people are
no.
making full court presses everywhere they can in every state that they can.
Mm,
So we're still on a crash course for violence until they either stop or we stop them. But it's good to see that they had enough sense to be afraid of their people,
yeah.
because
Listen to him. Yeah.
the old saying from Thomas Jefferson goes, "People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people."
That's right.
That's been stolen many times, but that's where it came from, and it's absolutely correct. Because at the end of the day, if the people genuinely have had enough, there is no force they can unleash to stop them,
Hmm.
and they need to be reminded of that from time to time.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
hopefully they have learned, at least for now. I don't think they have, though, and I think this is just a calm before the storm, but it's a good calm, and it was great to see that many people show up,
yeah.
because that's the most important part, who can and will show up.
That's right.
and it was a huge, as it said on the a huge white pill for me. It was great to see. It was a huge relief off my chest. I know a couple people who were down there, a couple really important thought leaders in the right, in my grassroots white right showed up.
Mhm.
Not the shills that the media likes to put out in front of, these are your leaders. No, they're not. They're nothing. These people are our leaders, and they showed up when it mattered. And it's great. I think this is going to be a really great year politically,
I hope
but
so.
I also think there will be some violence. The left will not. They will not take another defeat like they took in 20. It just won't happen.
Yeah.
Not without violence. There'll be bombings. There'll be shootings. There'll be all kinds of stuff. So just be ready for it. But the good news is, I think that the American spirit is alive and well, and it's all over the world, and it's not going away just because the worst people on the planet want it to.
Yeah. Well, another thing comes to me, Thundero, since we're talking about the founders. I don't think a lot of people, particularly Americans, are aware of exactly how lucky we were, right?
Hmm.
Because what we got was a group of leaders who were idealists, for sure, but they pushed the ideal of the perfect nation, which of course is no such thing, but that was their intention, the perfect nation, and they didn't put themselves before it. Do you know how rare that is, dude?
As far as I know, it's the only time it's ever happened.
Well, there's been a couple smaller things, but when you look at,
There's another example. You could go back to like Cincinnatus in ancient Rome.
yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
it was
That
made
is very
dictator
true. Yeah.
both times.
And of course, some of the Scandinavian countries have had similar moments. But if you look at the impact of what America is now, right?
Mhm.
We were crazy lucky to have these group of people that put the idea of a nation before themselves. I mean, a lot of
Yes.
people like to talk about the French Revolution. It's the more popular revolution over the American one. But the French Revolution, you had a bunch of typical, basically socialists before we had a word for it, and they didn't put anything before themselves. It became an absolute debacle. Everyone's getting their head cut off. It was extremely bloody. It failed miserably. Then, of course, you had Napoleon come on, become emperor. Now, in the long run, France worked it out, but all of Europe did, right?
Mhm.
The American Revolution was one of the great epiphanies of human history. It
Yes.
truly is. And we are so lucky that we had those people doing what they did. And the fact that I hear so many people that are anti American living in the country, America was never great, on and on and on and on. You are just a spoiled little brat who has no
Yes.
respect for what has been given to you. And that's the end of it.
You have no realization of what this land was before America was founded, and
Yeah.
even after America was founded. I mean, yeah, you can talk about genocides and this and that or whatever. The reality of the situation is the people who built this country, the generational family people who built this country, who went out and literally tamed a savage, untamed continent in 100 years.
Yep.
We went from having basically the one East Coast of, and it wasn't even developed, most of it, to in 100 years having huge swaths of it developed. That is incredible pace.
Yep.
That's unheard
Yeah.
of, in fact, to just tame that much land. And even today, there's still huge, vast areas of it that are just wild. There's nobody living there. But it's an unbelievable testament to the will of those people. None of us would compare to them as far as how tough they were.
No, that's true.
Even the women would out tough all of these men in here today. They
Easily.
were
Yeah.
unbelievable. You can read some of the stories like from their journals and stuff, the things they went through in the winters, because the winter was just as bad as it is today. And in fact, we're having easy winters lately compared to some of the stuff they went through. These were real hard, strong people, and
Yeah.
they refused to let nature beat them. And they tamed a continent and created the world's only superpower.
Yeah.
Uh, it's an amazing heritage, and like I was saying the other night when I did my namaste, we those generations of Americans are within all of us. We don't have the right to let them down. We must continue their legacy because they did for us.
Yeah.
That is what's important. Everything else can go away. You can talk about this ideology, that ideology. At the end of the day, our duty is to that heritage, and
It is.
that's
Yeah, and to just kind of since it is Martin Luther King Day, I didn't even know. I felt it was
Wrap
coming
it
up.
up, nerds.
I am. Shut up, Booster.
Got places to be.
Shut up. God, you suck, man.
You
Anyway,
suck.
you suck.
You
But
suck.
Anyway, if you look at why did the Americans, Canadians, why did they have so much more success than say the Spanish acquisitions? Well, it's very simple, and it's exactly what he said. Um, they were colonists. They were settlers that came in. The Spanish involvement was military, right?
Mhm.
And that's also why you have the racial makeup of below the Mexican border there is a Spanish native mix because they were soldiers and they took a bunch of women, but the settlers didn't do that as much. Most of that was coming in later. But the reason I mention this is because family is a very important thing. Family builds great things, especially when family has the freedom to do what they need to do, not only for themselves, but for their community. And Martin Luther King was a staunch supporter of such sentiments. So good
Mhm.
on you, Martin Luther King. And I'm sorry that your legacy is being twisted, sir. But it is time for us to namaste ourselves out of here. And Bob is going to do probably the best one we've ever heard.
Oh, it's time.
All right. Forget the mistake. Remember the lesson.
Ooh. Namaste.
I'll write that on a post and have it in
Ooh,
my room.
that almost burned.
Namaste.
That like branded me, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch out.
Mm.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Later.
Aloha.